put some bigger motors on my mini EYAS 2, and it's got pretty good landing gear on it, so we're going to see if we can do a ground takeoff here. Nice. Takes right off. Alright, so when I modified this with twin motors, I put 1306 3100 kV motors on it with 50-32 blade props, and it was pretty decent. It had pretty decent power, much better than it had stock with the single pusher motor. But I went ahead and replaced those with Racer Star BR 2205 2300 kV motors, and I put King Kong or L-Dark 5040 two-blade ABS props. So bigger motors, lower kV, but greater pitch on the props. So it's a lot heavier now, though. It's 40 grams heavier than it was with the 1306 motors. There's these. Look at that's a pretty nice roll rate, and it's a pretty axial roll for the type of plane. This is a cruiser FPV plane, is what it was designed for. But it seems like it's moving through the air at a pretty decent clip, you know, to do those rolls so quickly. We'll see here in a minute how well it's going to be able to do a big, huge loop. Right now I'm just trying to see how it handles and make sure I got the motor angle correct on these new mounts. It looks like the roll to the right is symmetrical with the one to the left. Here we go with a loop. Well, that's pretty good. I think that you know, these 2205s definitely have more torque than the 1306s, 3100 kV. So I should have at least as good a power. It looks like a little bit better power than I had with the 1306s, and since it has a lot more torque, I should be able to get a little more flight time. You know, it should be easier on the amps than the 1306s. But the downside is that each one of these motors is 15 grams heavier than the 1306s. So in order to get the CG, I had to put 10 grams of tail ballast weight on it. So I'm actually 40 grams heavier now than I was with the 1306s. So that's the downside. So the slow flight capability won't be quite as good. It'll be a little more aerobatic with a little more power, a little more speed, and a little more flight time. But the trade-off is that you don't have as good a slow flight with it. 40 grams is pretty significant for this plane, even though it has a 750mm wingspan. This was just, I think it was right at about 250 grams when it came stock. So much heavier than it was stock with a single pusher motor. But it seems to handle pretty well. I think I got my motor angle right. It seems to maintain its line, you know, especially in this circle here that we're doing. It doesn't seem to be nosing up. It doesn't seem to be, you know, gaining altitude or losing altitude. That was about probably 60 to 65% throttle, making that circuit. Yeah, so it's handling pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm going to replace the 5040 props if I have a chance to take it back out. Remove the 5040 props and maybe put 5x5s on it and see what that does, and see what kind of flight time I can get with it. And then maybe we can do the daily trifecta with it. There'll be a link to it in the show notes. The only place I could find it now, if I remember correctly, was at Esky. But I think it was only like $80-something for the bind and fly version of it. Coming in for a landing. And it does have a really nice landing gear on it. It's hard sometimes to take off from the ground out here, but has a really nice landing gear. All right, so test successful. I'm going to try another set of props next time I take it out with a little more power. Great looking plane. I really like it. Handles really well. Very stable, very forgiving, and with a bit of power like this, pretty aerobatic. So that is going to be a wrap on this episode. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the air.